Think. All right. So I was saying that in my opinion, I think Jesus created some principles that if we apply them to our careers, it'll get us out of that one trick pony thing. So if you look at the ministry of Jesus, first thing he did is he aligned God's will with what he was doing. Like he put God first. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus had a ministry of 3 years, but we still talk about it 2,000 years later. There's billions of Christians across the world, not kind of all the people that live their lives on a Christian standard. Basically, Western society was built on Christian morals and principles, and from a 3 year business. His currency wasn't money; it was souls and lives. Right. So I would argue that he's had way more impact over these eons than any other businessman. Because that's my point. So in our practices, in my opinion, we work towards purpose, and for me, that's God and doing God's will, because you're not going to do anything wrong, because God ain't going to tell you to do nothing wrong. You're going to treat patients a certain way. You're going to do your business right. You're going to treat your employees right. Right? You're going to make decisions with Him in mind. And even when things do not work out, it's working out for you, because I have learned that you never fail. That's the great part about it. When you have your right compass, you understand you just never, ever, ever fail. You either win or you learn every single time. And I have a whole different lecture of how you turn your challenges into paychecks. We'll talk about that later, right? But I think step one, to have a great, successful business and to get to specialized knowledge where it needs to go, you have to align God's will or your will up with God's will and do what He says. That's my point. Okay. I think principle number two is, if you look at Jesus' ministry after He got baptized, if you read it, He went into the wilderness, tested 40 days fasting, and then Satan came down and he's like, "Oh, you son of God, turn this stone into bread." Or, jump down. Surely the angels will catch you. Oh, look, I'll give you all of this. And he's like, "Get behind me, Satan." That was Jesus preparing himself. So fasting, it strengthened he had since he was in human form, and he's an example for us, he had to show us how to connect with the Spirit. And that was through preparation. In a spiritual context, is fasting. So fasting is just giving up something to gain something. You're giving up what your physical wants so that you can gain a spiritual connection when it comes to business and when it comes to being excellent at what you do. You got to give up something. That's why you're saying school is what it is. It's challenging. It ain't the funnest part. Well, guess what? You are giving up the parties. You're giving up sleep. You're giving up all these things. You are preparing yourself. It's like the wilderness period of your career. So if you want to model Jesus, you have to have a preparatory time so you can fight the challenges that's coming, Satan. So you don't succumb to that. Okay. Many clinicians don't fully prepare themselves in school. And when they finish school, they feel like their preparation is done. So they stay super average their whole career or below average, right? And then they're 70 and they're still paying off their student loans. No offense to anybody who's paying off your student loans at 70. Okay. In my opinion, it's not anyone's fault because they don't teach us this. Like, no one teaches us this. We all grew up probably middle class, and we were taught to go to school, do good in school, get a good job, save money, and we retire. You can have, something you can sit down with your grandkids. That's how we all kind of train. But I think this principle is like, prepare yourself and be in a continuous process of preparing and growing yourself. That's part of the business model. And if you look at successful people, that's what they do. They read and they consume and they seek out mentorship and coaching, and it never stops. Like, they're constantly reading and learning. So please make that part of your business model. Jesus rested. He recharged intentionally. So this is another business principle. I love Holly. That's my girl. But Holly knows that I'm intentional about protecting her from herself, because Holly will work through anything. Holly had come in here, her ear fell off. "Don't worry, I'll put it back on when I get home." I'm like, "Holly, you don't have to work today. It's all good. I got you." But Holly is so loving and she has this high sense of responsibility, and she's a nurturer by nature. She is a mother hen. If I was a chick, I want her to be my mother hen. She is an excellent, excellent, excellent clinician. She is. Holly has to be careful to pace herself, though, to make sure she has intentional rest. Right? So Jesus would often leave his disciples to go off and pray. And he would do it early in the morning, be quiet. Like, you need time to operate in quietness. If you think about it, most of our day and most of our nights are loud. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, do this. Phone's texting, beep, 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 beep. People calling you, right? Oh, now I gotta do this thing, I gotta do that thing. And then I'm driving home in traffic, Then you got music blasting. Then you're like, oh, I'm watching this movie on Netflix. Next, you just spent your whole entire day, something from the outside, giving you thoughts. So what you don't realize is, and we all should realize this, is that most of your thoughts are not even your thoughts. Most of your thoughts are stuff people told you, stuff you heard on social media, stuff you heard on the news, opinions that other people had. In fact, the fact that I'm even talking to you now, I am planting my thoughts into your heads, which will hopefully some of these things will become your thoughts. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have to be very aware that you need time to get away from everything to be the best version of yourself. To me, it's two reasons. One, so you can learn to hear God better. And two, discern your thoughts from thoughts that other people put in and opinions other people put in. How do you think racism persists? Little kids don't know that. Those thoughts are put into their head and they take it as their own. And they think it's their own thoughts and their own opinions, not someone else's thought. But also, that quiet time is necessary as you learn to hear God's voice better and you learn your voice better. Now you can hear the enemy's voice better and the devil's thought better. Oh yeah, I meant to tell you I'm a Christian. I kind of teach from a Christian worldview, and that's where it's coming from. But I do believe that Satan also tries to plant thoughts in our mind, right? And it's always deceptive. It's never obvious. It's usually you don't walk down the street and say, it's like, hey, you should kill that person over there. It's never anything like that unless you're like a sociopath, something like that, right? Oh, here's a tangent. My wife is watching this Netflix show. It's about this guy, Ed Geis or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that show is so, I'm like, baby, why are you watching this? It's so demonic. This is so terrible. And he would kill people and wear their skin and like,
oh, yeah.
he like, he like inspired all these other serial killers. I'm like, holy cow. Same thought. Satan influenced one person and other people heard about him and started doing similar things. Mm-hmm. Columbine was the first nationally school shooting that was major. Now school shootings happen once a month. Right? So this is proving my point. You need that time away to discern your voice from everything else. Discern God's voice. You need to pray. You need to listen to the Lord. So you can better hear when Satan's trying to deceive you. Because if you run your business, the devil's going to try to run your business to the ground. He's going to make a bad idea look like a good idea. He's going to make your friends look like your enemies, and he's going to make your enemies look like your friends. If you're not aware of this process happening because you don't spend that time away because you're not modeling Jesus, you fall into the trap too. That's how people get in trouble. Oh, such and so embezzled this much money. Oh, this person from this nonprofit has been stealing. You know why? Because the devil is trying to destroy anything that you are building for good. Okay, so be aware. So I think that's a great life tip. Now, here's a part that I'm going to tell you that's kind of the more tactical part. Then I'll stop here because I have a whole hour lecture about Jesus and his business model. Mm-hmm. So remember I talked about trading your knowledge from one-to-one time. It's one of me, it's one patient or their family, and I'm giving 30 minutes, and you give me $80 or $100, whatever it is, right? So best way to illustrate so you don't forget it is I used to get befuddled. I'm like, man, look at teachers. They did such a good job. And they're so needed and they get paid so low. And I'd be like, once I became a doctor and I was like, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be balling. I'm a doctor. Life's going to be easy. I'm going to be on yachts and I'm gonna have all this stuff. And I realized, holy crap, I have a lot of debt. It's really expensive to run my operations, and I have a large family, and blah 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 blah. You ain't balling if you a regular old doc. You just ain't. You upper middle class if you're lucky, right? And I'm like, man, I'm doing such a hard work, and I'm working all these hours. I'm helping all these people, and I'm saving lives. And then I'm sitting here watching the game. LeBron's like, free throw. Oh, I missed it. But he getting paid like $300 million. See what I'm saying? Why the heck does LeBron James, Steph Curry, Aaron Rodgers, why do these guys make so much more money than we do for what we contribute to society? What's the answer to that?
Because they have more like viewers and people are paying more money to see them.
You got it.
It's like popularity in a way. Yeah.
It's not even popularity, it's just audience.
Okay.
I mean, popularity does have to do with building an audience, but you don't start the popularity. And audience is what makes you popular, right? So the one trick pony lifestyle is I'm gonna give my specialized knowledge to one person, but that's not the LeBron James model or the Jesus model. Is LeBron James makes so much money because he has a super large audience of people that are paying to see him miss that free throw or make the free throw, whatever it is, right? So if you look at what Jesus did, is if you look at the stories, he almost always had an audience, right? Oh, the Sermon on the Mount. Oh, Jesus heals Lazarus, and like people seeing him pull Lazarus out of the cave, right? Like he had so much crowd that, oh, let me get on this boat to get away from all these people. See what I'm saying? Like he built an audience. But how did he build an audience? He built an audience by giving something of value to them for free. Like if I decide to post this video, if people actually listen to it, it is something of value they get for free, right? You build your audience by giving them value, giving them information that can help them solve their problem. And you give it to them for free. And then they tell their friends, who tell their friends, who tell their friends. And they're taking your advice, and things are getting better. Jesus gave powerful, powerful information away for free, right? There's another thing about how he spoke to his audience. He wowed his audience. That's why I'm wearing this crown. No, I was kidding. He wowed his audience. You cannot be a boring speaker and expect to grow an audience, right? So no matter how good your specialized knowledge is, if people don't want to hear it, you can't build an audience. And you can't even influence one person one-on-one when you're not telling people interesting things, impactful things. See what I'm saying? So I encourage you to be like Jesus, build your audience, but you have to do it by wowing your audience. You have to be able to be a great storyteller. So Jesus told parables. Parables make you think. Parables make you realize, wait a minute, I'm the one with 1 talent, or I'm the one with 3 talents. I'm the one with 5 talents. You see what I'm saying? Jesus told stories that people can see themselves in. So when I work with my patients, I tell stories. Because the brain, this will go very far in learning how to master your clinical knowledge, is learning these facts, that the brain does not do well at just memorizing facts. Right?
That's a fact.
Bars. The brain does better with remembering stories and concepts and principles. If you can turn the stuff that you have to learn into stories, and you can understand the concepts, and you can relate it to a principle, you'll remember way more information. Okay? And then the facts start making sense. They'll start falling into buckets. Oh, it's like this concept. Oh, it's like that concept. Oh, it's based on this principle. See what I'm saying? So Jesus taught that way. He taught in stories. He told parables. He told stories. And it made you think. And it's like aha moment. And people go and tell people about it. Oh my goodness. And then the wild thing, Jesus performed miracles. That was like him showing his authority. So the Pharisees got pissed with him because they didn't understand the business model. Who gave you authority to heal sick on the Sabbath? He must be a demon. Who cast out demons? You see what I'm saying? All right, so if you master what you know, and you use your mastery to create wow moments. So when you see a patient do ketamine treatment and they won't even leave their house, they haven't cut their hair in 10 years, and then they come do one treatment, it's like, just wake up, and they're like, oh my God, I feel better. And you treat them to a point where you're like a totally different person. That's a wow. And you notice that Jesus did a lot of wow moments in public. So we're trained, oh, everything has to be private, HIPAA, and that is true. But what that does is it mutes our wow moment. So how do we get the wow out? Well, we get patients to give testimonials, we get patients to leave reviews, we get patients to talk about it to their friends. We encourage them, hey, a lot of people don't know about these services. Like, I need your help to let more people know. Would you be willing to leave a review about your experience? Because you could save somebody's life. I need your help to help me save more lives. Right? Would you mind sharing your testimony? I'm so pleased that God blessed us to get the relief that you received from this treatment. People don't know about this. Could you leave me just a short video clip about your experience? Because I can say it until I'm blue in the face, but when you say it, people may make that decision. People are scared to ask people for testimonials, but that's your wow that helps you grow your audience. Okay. Here's another thing. Jesus didn't do it all by himself. Jesus didn't personally walk to Asia and walk to Africa and walk to, North America to spread his message. Jesus trained his disciples. So he had messages that were just for his disciples. And the disciples went out. And they made disciples and they went out. So in your business, to not be a one-trick pony, you have to create disciples. And there's two ways to do that. A disciple might be, well, I want to do business. I'm going to hire people that's going to do what I do, so I don't have to do it all myself. So look at my business. I hire nurse practitioners. I train them, and they deliver, my methodologies to help people. I take students, so I can expose them to this. So they might come work with me. That's great. They might not, but at least they know about it, and now they're going to go out and help people with that specialized knowledge that I share with them on their 6-week rotation. Or they may not even do it, but they talk, they see a patient in the clinic because they did my rotation. Like, you know what? Maybe you should try ketamine. No one's ever told you that. No one's ever told you about ketamine or TMS, but I did a rotation and it worked so great. You should look into it. And you help that person just because of this one little lecture we had. So Jesus created disciples, and they spread the word. You can make disciples of your patients too. Like, well, if you have a way of solving a problem and you solve that person's problem fully, they mostly become advocates for you and your business, right? Okay. So I can go on forever about this, and I had originally meant to talk about substance abuse, but I do think this is important to understand that, hey, as clinicians, our specialized knowledge, it can be monetized different ways. One of the best ways to do it is to serve an audience and to create disciples. So let me say that a different way. Best way to multiply your income potential is to grow an audience and to have employees and or contractors. So you build a business. Your business doesn't have to be a practice either. Because guess what? You told me the most valuable thing is your specialized knowledge. I can render that knowledge different ways. I can do a YouTube video. I can do a TikTok video. Oh, I can write a book. I can write an ebook. I can create a course. I can do consulting. I can be a consultant. I can be a coach. You know what? I have learned how to make a multi-million-dollar practice run autonomously without me in such a way that I know I can make multiple millions a year through my practice. I can pay myself a very, very, very competitive salary. But guess what? I also can pour more money into my family because I can pay my wife a full salary. She ain't even here. I can pay my nephew a full six-figure salary. As well. Oh, I just hired my brother. I can pay him a salary. I can hire my children and save on taxes. Wait a minute. I am bringing 7+ figures into my family. And y'all see how many patients I see here. I might see 2 patients on a busy day. If I see 4 patients a day, I'm like, oh my God, this is difficult. How do I do this? But I pay my dues Because there were days back in the day when I was working 4 jobs to make this happen. Okay. But the principle is, hey, there are more ways to take your knowledge and put it in different packages. Courses, books, ebooks, coaching, consulting, all those things. Here's why I think coaching is the best of all of those things. To coach someone, all you have to do is coach your past version of yourself. So technically, you're like a coach now. Think of yourself from 5 years ago. What were you trying to accomplish? What were you trying to accomplish that you didn't really know how to do? But you figured it out and now you're doing it. Guess what? There's people that's you 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and you figured out something. You figured out how to go to PA school. Mm-hmm. You could literally have a little small coaching program teaching, and you target the parents, teaching families how your kid can get a professional degree and get it paid for or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like if you got scholarships, teach them how to do it. Mm-hmm. People will pay for that because people are looking for the fast track to success. And if you can solve a problem for them, they're willing to exchange money for it. Okay? So for me, I think coaching is the best way to do it is because guess what? I figured out a whole lot in this decade that this practice has been here. And I have a lifestyle that many doctors would like to have. I'm pretty much burnout proof because I don't have to see 10, 12, 14, 16 patients a day. I can see 0. Like today, I'm going to see 0 patients. I'm going to teach you guys, and I'm going to go work on my AI slot. That's my plan for today, okay? But I do think that it's not by happenstance, it's by design. You have to design the life that you want. Now, coaching, in my opinion, has a lower overhead of anything else you can do for the most part. So if you write a book, which is great, you can digitally publish it and it can keep working for you, but you still got to promote the book and stuff like that. If you want to print them out, they cost money, et cetera, et cetera. You got to distribute the book. It can be expensive, right? It's not a bad idea. I think I encourage everybody to write a book. Okay, I'm working on mine. You can do a course. You can build a course, but if you think about a course, ain't but so much you can charge for it, right? I sell a bunch of them, which is good, but you got to learn how to do that. The reason I think coaching is great because, yes, you still have to promote it, but guess what? I promote myself every day, right? I go to conferences. I meet people at conferences. Oh, I have a coaching program, blah, blah, blah. I want to speak at the conference. So people are like, wow, because that's why I follow Jesus' example. I learned how to present in a way that makes people go, ooh, ah, oh, wow. And then they want to come talk to me after I speak. But I've mastered my speaking so I can get potential customers for coaching. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Coaching, since you are just sharing what you already know, isn't that hard? It's like when you try to teach a child something. Hey, I'm going to show you how to tie your shoe. It ain't much effort for you to understand how to tie a shoe. You just got to learn how to present it in such a way that the kid understands it so they can be successful at that. Right? So, in my opinion, when I coach someone, it's infinitely scalable because I can do it in group. So think about it. What I'm saying to you right now, I could have said this one-on-one with you. And let's say I was going to charge you, $600 for this hour of my time. Right? But I taught you something that if you apply it, you can make a lot more money than $600. It's worth it. But guess what? I could also have you in the room teach the same thing. And you pay me $600 and you pay me $600. Both of you got something from me that if you apply it, you're going to make way more than $600. But guess what? I can have 2 more students. I can have a Zoom running right now. I have 400 people watching, all paying me $600 a piece to hear my hour lecture about how to not be a one-trick pony clinician. Infinitely scalable. Oh, and then I can record it and then sell the recordings as a course. Oh, and I can also transcribe the recording using AI, turn that to blogs and run traffic to my blogs and sell ad money. Oh, and I can also write a book off a series of things that I've talked about. See what I'm saying? You're going to monetize that specialized knowledge, and you can do it infinitely. You just got to be willing to do the stuff or get the team around you that'll do the stuff for you. Like, I don't know if you heard me talk about Arlene. Arlene's my virtual assistant. Her job is to create assets for me. So, for example, I'll do a coaching call, and we'll take that coaching call, we'll take the transcript, could take that transcript, return other assets. Somebody said something interesting, like, oh, Jesus is the best businessman ever. Right? And I'll use those transcripts and we'll make social media posts and I'll make other video scripts and I'll have nowadays I'll make an AI video off of it. I'll create a manuscript from some concepts that I made from that, and we kind of put them to the side so I can put them into the book. I'm telling anecdotal stories because I always read the book without stories in it. Take those anecdotes and I kind of put them in place. So when I write my book, I kind of categorize. Oh, here's a story about the billionaire that I met. Okay, boom. Let go to the book here. So you make assets out of your thoughts. All right. So the last thing I'm going to mention to you, because like I said, I'll go all day about this, is that as a clinician or a physician, oftentimes if doctors, I'm going to just say doctors, and that's going to be all healthcare professionals. A lot of times when doctors want to try to branch out and make more money outside of their 9 to 5, they're often looking outside of their specialized knowledge. Oh, I want to do real estate. Oh, I'm investing in stocks. Oh, I'm hire a broker, so I'm just giving them money so they can invest in stocks. You're not leveraging your specialized knowledge. You're kind of jumping ship. You see what I'm saying? Because they see those things as assets. Owned by this real estate is asset. Owned by the stock is asset. You see what I'm saying? But they don't realize that when you create a web page, it's an asset. When you create a YouTube video, it's an asset. Once you get it to a point. Once you write a book, it's an asset. When you write it once, you can sell it for the rest of your life. People can read it. It gets you attention and authority to drive people to you for the rest of your life. So that's why I encourage all the students, like, you need to start a YouTube channel. My mentor said the best time to start a YouTube channel was 20 years ago. The second best time to start a YouTube channel is today. And I see plenty of people on YouTube that started a YouTube channel in med school and in professional school. And all they did is like document their experience. And over time, they realize what people want to watch, and it kind of evolves into what it is. Like, for example, there's a guy named Dr. Mike Diamond. And I remember him because I started looking at stuff when he was in med school. I was like, oh, I should have did that when I was in med school. And I watched him kind of grow his channel, and it became, he would like document his workouts while he was in med school, and it became and now he has a whole huge like fitness industry. Like, and he just says, he's a physician, but he does one thing, teach people how to lose body fat. And if you saw his office, like his office is like high rise with all the class. I'm like, oh my God, I should have started my YouTube channel when I was in med school. Because he's got X amount of million followers now. So he has an audience that he can sell to. So that's why you want an audience, so you can sell them stuff. Not to sell them to make money, but to sell them to improve the quality of their lives. And the side effect is the money. Okay. So if you want to learn more about how Jesus was the best businessman, let me know. I'll write a blog. I'm gonna put it into an ebook or something like that. Because I think it's like, this is how you build a business. That's not the principles that he had. Okay, that makes sense? Was that useful?
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
very good. All right, cool. Let's stop there.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to teach you some actual clinical stuff.